Comparing groups of categorical data. Suppose you wish to compare two or more groups in terms of a categorical variable. Let's consider how this may be accomplished. For example, I am interested in the gender representation among students who take Stat 113, Stat 205, and Stat 212, our three statistics general education classes. For a sample of students, the course taken among these three and the gender of the student were recorded. Using the data file coursegender.xls, obtain appropriate graphs of gender concentration in each course. Use those graphs to answer the questions. To obtain the graphs, we're going to log into StatCrunch and go to the course group. So what we'll do is log in, click the file, and once it's opened in StatCrunch, we'll use the following steps to create graphs. So I've already logged into StatCrunch and gone to our group, and you see the course gender file, which we will left click. To make bar charts, use graph, bar plot with data, left click. Click course under select column. Use the drop down box under group by and select gender. Use the drop down box under type and select % within category. Click the box under display next to the value above bar, and then enter an appropriate title under the graph properties. Gender distribution by course. Click compute. To make pie charts, use graph, pie chart with data. Click gender under select column. Use the drop-down box under group by and select course. Under display, be sure both count and % of total are highlighted. Click and drag the mouse if you need to. Enter an appropriate title. Click compute. Notice this places a separate pie chart on each screen. You can click the arrow buttons or greater than, less than buttons at the bottom to move between the pie charts. All the instructions with screenshots are given on these two pages. Now let's answer a couple of questions related to the graphs we produced. Based on this sample, what was the most common gender for each course? Report the actual percentages. We can use the pie charts or the bar charts to answer these questions. For Stat 113, females were the more common gender and accounted for 85.71% of students, with males only making up 14.29% of students. For Stat 205, females were again the more common gender and accounted for 59.46% of students, with males only making up 40.54% of students. For Stat 212, males were the more common gender and accounted for 58.59% of students, with females only making up 41.41% of students. What explanations might be given for the variability in the percentages? These courses were developed and serve different students and majors. Stat 113 is heavily populated by elementary education majors. Think back to elementary school. Most students are female. In Stat 205, this is the general course, but also is required by majors such as nursing, which is more heavily populated by females. This creates a slightly higher level of females in this course. For Stat 212, this is required for majors in the College of Business. This gives a slightly higher male percentage, likely due to some of the majors such as sports business.